I grew up in church. I was raised fundamentalist Christian. It's okay. I'm all better. It was a quick recovery, really. It was about 12, 15 years, and it was just right out of my system. And, I struggled with it right away, because in the churches that I went to, I saw exclusion, and I saw sexism, and I saw homophobia. Before I even knew there were words, I just knew it just didn't sit right with me. And it created this sort of crack in my relationship with church, and I struggled all through my teens until my early 20s, when I thought, this thing is in trouble. And then I got an opportunity that I was sure was going to take all of my doubts away forever. And this is that story. This is the story of the day I became truly famous in the lamest way possible. I am the star of a series of movies produced by a megachurch for Vacation Bible School. Yeah, some of you are recognizing me. Let me explain. In my early 20s, I moved to Vermont. I was in this kind of weird state, and my mom was going to this mega church. And she said, Colin, they're looking for somebody to star in a series of movies inspired by Indiana Jones. And I said, I have found my purpose. I'm in. Let's look at the facts. I loved Indiana Jones. I've always wanted to be in a movie. And I ignored everything else about that scenario. And I knew that if I was going to nail the audition for the lead role of Dakota Joe, I was going to have to go big. And so I decided I was going to do an accent, which unfortunately sounded like this. Hello, boys and girls. I'm Dakota Joe. It's not great. It's muddled. You know, like if you were to point on a globe to how many countries that comes from, you would need both hands. Wales by way of Australia, by way of Western New York. They loved the accent. And so I had to keep it up for a week while we filmed these videos, and I had a disheveled, button-down, dusty button-down shirt. I had a messenger bag with nothing in it. Had a fedora. I submitted a prompt request for a whip. I was denied. And it was actually really fun. Like, during the filming, I paddled in a canoe, and I climbed around in a cave, and I ran in the wild wilderness right next to the church parking lot. I had a sock puppet sidekick named Denver, voiced by a 9-year-old, who was really only there to reinforce the already heavy-handed dialogue. He was not necessary. Here's something I had to say into a camera that was recorded. All this time I thought I was looking for a jewel, but I was really looking for Jesus. It's no Shawshank Redemption. I agree with you. I felt my soul leave my body a little bit. Even the 6-year-olds who would watch this later, I feel like they would be like, we get it. It's a little on the nose. And I thought we were filming a train wreck, I gotta be honest. There was a scene where Dakota Joe was swimming to get away from the waterfall of doom. And in the background, these 3 little girls swam by with arm floaties. I was like, this is gonna be just mortifying, right? But someone came to our aid, and I don't mean someone. I mean the youth pastor, who was a Hollywood-level film editor, sleeping on that skill. He took this horrible footage that we shot, and he cut it into these 5 tightly edited, epic music, cliffhanger ending, short films, and they played one every day of the 5 days of vacation Bible school. And on the first day the report came in, the kids loved Dakota Joe. I, on the other hand, was experiencing something else. Because they saw the final product, right? They saw what was in the frame, but I saw everything outside the frame. All of the moments when we were filming this, when I felt like a phony, when I judged myself, when I realized I was saying things that I, for sure, no longer believed. This was supposed to make things better. And it made them so much worse. I mean, I was in a moment when my relationship to church was on the burn pile. And it's like I just poured gasoline on. I remember thinking, isn't the star of a series of Christian movies supposed to be not cringing as he watches his own? I mean, I was in this funk. I mean, it was a scary feeling because I knew what was next. And I wasn't ready to think about that yet. Fortunately, that's when the youth pastor called me with an update. He said, Colin, it is not just something they like, it is the unparalleled hit of Vacation Bible School. These kids cannot get enough. It is all they talk about. When are we going to watch the next video of Dakota Joe? I have an idea. Will you come on Friday in costume and surprise the children? Now, what he did not tell me was that these kids believed I really was Dakota Joe, or at the very least a professional Hollywood actor, not what I actually was, which was a kind of depressed, directionless 20-something, currently living in his mother's basement. I said, yeah, I'm free. I was free every day, you know? I mean, I needed to win so bad. I was probably wearing the fedora when he called, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I can be there. Next thing you know, it's Friday, and I'm in costume, and I'm hiding in the broom closet of the church gymnasium, about to surprise a bunch of children. That's a sentence. Just let that wash over you. And I don't know how many kids there are. It sounds like a lot. I'm literally in a broom closet. There's like a mop right here. You know what I mean? And then the program starts, and then before you know it, it's my turn, and the youth pastor says, boys and girls, I have a surprise special guest. Please welcome Dakota Joe. And I come running out onto the stage, and someone rolls a paper mache boulder. Jump over it. And I jump. And about here, this was the moment my brain processed about 400 children lose their minds. I mean, they were like, ah! I was like, oh, boys and girls! They were like, ah! I mean, it was a rush, man. I felt like the Beatles must have felt on the Ed Sullivan show. For a second, I was like, is SpongeBob behind me? No, they are cheering for me, and I gotta say, it felt pretty good. I got some adrenaline, you know. I was like, okay, I don't have a plan. I'm gonna milk this. I don't know. So I said a few quotes from the video, and then I had an idea. I'm gonna do a call and response. So I got my microphone and I go, oh, this time I was looking for a, and they go, Jewel. And I go, but I was really looking for Jesus. And I said, that's why they wrote it that way. It's actually very catchy. Here's my fatal mistake. I did not exit the gymnasium in time. All of a sudden, the program was over, and now I was just stuck in the room with 400 people in this fake accent. I've done no research on my character's backstory. Like, I'm not ready for any questions. I just gotta kind of mill around. This little girl walks up to me. She goes, Dakota Joe? She's nervous. And I'm thinking, the lies I am telling to be standing there. She goes, can I have your autograph? And I go, yeah. I mean, I haven't written cursive since 6th grade, but yeah. can probably figure that out. And so I turn and someone hands me a Sharpie and I turn back and she's holding up her Bible. What's the rule? In this totally normal situation all of us have been in before. I didn't know. I don't know now. I had half a second. I thought, don't crush the little girl's dreams. And so I wrote, Dakota Joe! You know, fake name in the word of the Lord. And I thought, well, at least that won't happen again. And that's when a little boy saw this happen and turns to the crowd and yells, he's signing Bibles! And that's when a tsunami of 3-foot-tall people swarmed toward me. They pushed me back against the wall. I'm signing left and right. I signed a program. I signed a t-shirt. I think I signed a face. And I could not count how many more Bibles. Yeah, I feel your judgment. Honestly, you can judge me all you want, because it will not take away that that was the day I was truly famous. The most famous I've ever been. In the lamest way possible. Later that night, I was sitting on the edge of my bed, and by that I mean the futon in my mom's basement. And I could still feel the reverberation of the crowd, you know? And I realized I hadn't made things worse. I'd made them clear. I said, this is the note you go out on. This is the highest possible note. I think we can all agree it's not going to get better than this. Maybe this is the moment. And I realized I finally was starting to discover the courage to do what I eventually did, which was to walk away and to spend years building myself into the person I always wanted to be. And I made myself a promise. I said I will never step in a church again unless it is one that includes all of the people that I believe deserve to be there. And a year ago, I found one. And it's been really weird, honestly. But it's also been good medicine, you know, it's been healing. There is one downside though. It's been a year, not one person has asked me to sign their Bible. Thank you.